Okay, now let's look at a program which allows you to work with arrays and for loops. Uh, the more you practice arrays and for loops, it'll be better. Uh, we start by including the header file, without which you can't really do anything in C, and that's why it's so necessary. And then we get into our main function where we start by variable declaration. I have an array of size 40. I have another variable n, and I have my control variable I, which is necessary for any loop. Necessary for any loop. Let me just repeat myself. And then you prompt the user to enter the number of elements they want to store in the array, or the size of the array, which is what I'm doing here. After that, we use scanf to take the user input. Remember to use %d as your format specifier when you're using integer, %f for float, and %c if it's a character, and so on. Just make sure you have the right format specifier because that could lead to some errors, small errors, but yeah, errors. And then you start by prompting the user to enter the numbers into the array and use a for loop. Now, this is the most basic for loop. Everybody, so just remember this for loop anytime you want any user input in any language. This for loop is really helpful, which is for I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Again, very simple, and then scanf to take the user input. Have another for loop so that we can reverse the contents of the string. Now, this for loop is different from the first one because we need to ensure that the string is printed in the reverse order, and that's why we start from I equals n minus 1, I greater than 0, I minus minus. You're going to decrement your I. Okay, so why are we starting at n minus 1 is because we need to print it from the end of the array, and you know how array indices work. You start at 0, go all the way to n minus 1, and which is why you started that, so that you start printing from the reverse from the end and you go all the way to 0, that is the array index 0, and print. Now, instead of scanf, we have print statement in our for loop so that it prints the array, and that's where the print statement goes, just to show key. Okay, these are the reversed numbers, or these are the numbers in the reversed order, and that's it. That's how you reverse your array. Let's run this.